Dubai, a city of shimmering skyscrapers and boundless luxury, often evokes images of unimaginable wealth. But beneath this glittering facade lay the shadowy network of Abdullah Alfalsi. Alfalsi, a seemingly unassuming 48-year-old, masterminded a money laundering operation of staggering proportions, funneling a mind-boggling £104 million out of the UK. His operation, a complex web of deceit and cunning, exploited the city's global connections to move dirty money with audacious ease. Alfalsi understood the language of wealth. He knew that large sums of money, often the ill-gotten gains of criminal enterprises, needed to be cleaned. His solution was simple, yet effective. A steady stream of cash couriers flying from London's Heathrow Airport to the bustling heart of Dubai. These individuals, lured by the promise of quick money, became unwitting pawns in his elaborate scheme. Their suitcases, packed not with vacation essentials but with wads of illicit cash, became the lifeblood of his operation. But Alfalsi's success hinged on more than just willing participants. He needed to outmaneuver the watchful eyes of law enforcement to navigate the intricate world of international finance without arousing suspicion. His methods were audacious, his network vast. He relied on a combination of meticulous planning, calculated risks, and a network of individuals whose loyalty was bought and paid for. The sheer scale of Alfalsi's operation, its audacity and its brazen disregard for the law, sent shockwaves through the international financial community. It exposed vulnerabilities in the system, revealing how easily vast sums of criminal proceeds could be laundered through seemingly legitimate channels. The story of Abdullah Alfalsi and his money laundering empire is a stark reminder of the insidious reach of organized crime and the constant battle to safeguard the integrity of the global financial system. The success of Alfalsi's money laundering operation hinged on its simplicity and audacity. The plan was straightforward: recruit individuals willing to carry suitcases packed with cash on flights from London to Dubai. These couriers, often enticed by the allure of easy money, became the cogs in his well-oiled machine. They were given strict instructions, detailed itineraries, and a clear understanding of the risks involved. To avoid detection, the money was carefully concealed, often using everyday items to mask its presence. Suitcases were lined with coffee granules and air fresheners, a rudimentary attempt to throw off sniffer dogs trained to detect the scent of large sums of cash. The couriers, often traveling under the guise of tourists or business people, were coached on how to behave at airports, how to answer questions from customs officials, and how to blend in with the crowds. Each successful trip fueled the operation, emboldening Alfalsi and his network. The sheer volume of cash being moved was staggering, with each courier carrying tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds per trip. The money, believed to be the proceeds of drug trafficking, fraud, and other criminal activities, was being funneled out of the UK and into the shadowy underworld of international finance. The faces behind Alfalsi's money laundering operation were as diverse as the methods he employed. They were individuals from all walks of life, lured by the promise of easy money, their stories a cautionary tale of greed, desperation, and the high cost of taking shortcuts. Among them was Tara Hanlon, a 32-year-old whose striking resemblance to Kim Kardashian made her an unlikely participant in this high-stakes world of international crime. Hanlon, who smuggled nearly £2 million in cash, was eventually apprehended and sentenced to nearly 3 years in prison. Joe Larvin, the 44-year-old ex-girlfriend of boxing legend Joe Calzaghe, also found herself entangled in Alfalsi's web. Larvin, along with her partner Jonathan Johnson, carried $2.2 million and $2.8 million on separate trips to Dubai. While she received a suspended sentence, the experience served as a stark reminder of the consequences of her actions. Then, there was Amy Harrison, a 28-year-old, who along with Larvin, carried $2.2 million on her first trip to Dubai. Harrison, like Larvin, received a suspended sentence, a reminder that even those on the periphery of such operations are not immune to the long arm of the law. Beatrice Audie, 26, played a more significant role, stashing money and accompanying couriers to Heathrow Airport. Her involvement earned her a 3.5-year prison sentence. The wheels of justice, though sometimes slow, eventually caught up with Abdullah Alfalsi and his elaborate money laundering operation. In December 2021, Alfalsi was arrested at a luxurious Belgravia apartment, his reign of secrecy and illicit financial dealings coming to an abrupt end. He was sentenced to over 9 years in prison in July 2022 after pleading guilty to removing criminal property from the UK. But the pursuit of justice didn't end with Alfalsi's arrest and conviction. Authorities were determined to dismantle his network and hold all those involved accountable for their actions. In March 2024, a confiscation order for £3,496,778 was made against Alfalsi. He was given 3 months to pay, or face an additional 10 years behind bars. The investigation and subsequent prosecution of Alfalsi and his associates sent a clear message to those involved in organized crime. The authorities were committed to disrupting their activities and bringing them to justice. The case highlighted the effectiveness of international cooperation in tackling complex financial crimes and served as a deterrent to others who might be tempted to engage in such illicit activities.